loves! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. A couple of days ago I got a question from one of my subscribers here at YouTube, and she asked if I could do a video where I'm showing some of the cards that I've done in the past and maybe publish on Instagram. Because I do a lot of cards that I don't record and publish here at YouTube, so she wondered if I could make a video where I pull them all together and like talk a little bit about them and about the stamp sets. And I thought that was a brilliant idea, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit, I think about 2 stamp sets today. And if you like this, I could do a couple of more of these videos. And I have to say, when I'm doing cards, you know, you send them out, so I'm just gonna show you the cards that I got left, and yeah, we take it from there. So I'm gonna start off by showing you this stamp set from Fawn. This stamp set is called Fairy Friends, and it have these all beautiful like fairies and their little fairy house and some flowers and yeah, a couple of other filler images that you can use. And they have these like cute sentiments. And I got this in, I think, April or May or something, when they had their big release, and this was one of them. It might have been earlier actually, but I don't remember exactly. And I bought this, and I have used it quite frequently. I cannot speak, it's too early in the morning. It is like, I think it's like 7 a.m. here in Sweden, so it's pretty early. And this is one card that I created, and I use my Sig Clean Color Real brushes. I don't know if that is right, I always say it wrong. And color this in. This is on some smooth cardstock, watercolor cardstock I should say. And I used that little fairy here. And I also used a couple of other images from some Fawn's stamp sets. This is from, what it's called, Creditors Ever After or something. It's one of their newer releases too, and this is also from some other party animal, I think. And this is a scripty birthday, and that is a die cut that Fawn came out with a couple of years ago. So I pulled that together, and I think this turned out nice, and I bumped it up on some found foam, and it just opens from the top. So that is, yeah, a cute one. You could have done more with this, but at this point when I had stamped them all out and masked them all off, I was pretty satisfied with being done with this card, I think. Yeah. So that was that one. I should mention, when I'm masking this off, I'm masking every critters off. Like, if I think I did this one last. Yeah, I have to have done this last. So I have like done all the others before. And this one is not touching anything, so that is perfect. That was that. And then I did this one. This was actually a spare card that I had done, just pulling some images together. I had this die cut piece just already fixed, so I took that one, and these fairies I also had colored in, because I keep a container at my desk where I put all images that I didn't use for this project. And so then when I'm feeling like crafting but not pulling everything out, I can just grab from that one and pull a card together. And that's a good tip actually, because if you get a new stamp set, I think it's always good to like punch every image out, and then you can color them in and just cut them out, because you know, I don't have my scan and cut yet. So then you can keep them in a container, and I think that is fabulous. So that one, that love die, is from this Hero Arts stamp set. And I just punched it out in some silver glitter cardstock, and I use some VersaFine Onyx Black to just punch this one out. And I use my Spectrum Noir colors markers to color these fairies in. and I use some pattern papers to the background. Then I did this one, and this is a fairly simple one. I just this one I was lazy at because I didn't mask anything off, and you can actually see it maybe, but I like that effect. If I would do this like now, I would use some fluid masking products just to mask this fairy off, but in this one I didn't, because I die-cutted this piece and then I distressed it with some, I think it is Stormy Sky, and then I used the stamps and just took some Memento Versafine, and then I colored them in, actually with my Spectrum Norm markers, but that worked out fine, even though that isn't the best ink to use when you use alcohol-based markers. So that is that, and sentiment I just masked off too, and have a magical day. So I I always start from the back, so I masked off this part and just inked this one up, and you can do it if you're doing it carefully on your acrylic book, you can just ink that part up. And then I inked the rest up after I've cleaned this very carefully. Then I stamped that one on the top. So that is that. Here is one of the first cards I did with this stamp set. I used my distress inks on the background, and then I die-cutted out of this piece a rectangle from Long Fawn, and then I die-cutted with the cloud border from Long Fawn 2 a couple of times, and then I bumped this all up on some fan foam. And then I think actually that I stamped my sentiment Have a Magical Day before I did that. But the rest I did after, because I bumped these on some square fun foam dots. I don't know what to call it. And just embellished all this with some of the teeny embellishment stamps that you get in this stamp set, and some some sequins. So that is pretty. And this one I did in the same time as the other one I showed you. I think I did on the same day. And here I just heat embossed the sentiment, and I did the same technique where I just ink one part up and then the other one. And I used these embellishments in this one too, and inked them up and heat setted them too. And I die-cutted some clouds and just inked the bottom part of these clouds up. And I colored all my fairies in the same lilac color and cutted them out with a little bit of a border. And I used my Spectrum Noir markers to do that. Here is another card, and here I used a little more of these images you get in this pack. And I die-cutted some heels. I think that is pretty, with a dotted border, you can see it. And I colored every image out with my Spectrum Noir markers, and to create like this background I used some distress inks to just blend that out. I think that's a cute one. It has a sentiment on the inside that say thank you very much, and I also decorated that one. So that's a tip, you don't have to have your sentiment at the outside every time. You can use it and have it at the inside too. So this one says thank you very much, and I used another stamp set for that one. I don't know exactly where it's from. If I remember, I can link it. And here I just masked all of this up, and then I colored it in with some of my Spectrum Noir markers. And with this little what it's called, butterfly, I used some glossy accent. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but it has some dimension. And I colored that fairy in the same colors. I like this card, and the reason I haven't sent this out is because I actually am hoarding it a little bit, because I get inspired by the colors, I get inspired by the ideas behind this card. So that is something, if you can always like do a card again if you liked it a lot, and make some variations to it. So this card is actually the spinning card that I have a video on here on YouTube. So you spin the fairy up and you put it in an envelope, and then when the recipient opens it up, she spins, and I think that is adorable. And I used some pattern papers from MFT to create the background of this story. I used the sentiment from an Avery L stamp set. I think that is called Fairy Friends 2. I don't remember exactly, but fairy something. And I stamped it out and mirror image it with another stamp set. So that's a tip. And the last one I'm gonna show you with this stamp set is this fairy box that I also have done a tutorial on here on YouTube. And I hope that is up before I'm showing you this. So that is cute and pretty and everything, and you can write your your message here on the back side. So that is that. Yeah, and I thought I would show you how you can use your not just your stamps but also your die cuts. So I picked this one because I really like it, and since I got this lace butterflies from MFT, I cannot stop using it. I'm using it on my scrapbooking, I'm using it on my cards. So I thought I would show you a couple of cards that I've done with this. And the first one, I actually have a tutorial here on YouTube with. I just watercolored these butterflies and die cutted them out, and I also die cutted the center part out of some silver cardstock. Then I created a soft blue background with some Heidi shine in the background with some splatters, and you can see that it warps pretty badly, but I like that. Sometimes it's bothering me that it's warped, but today I think that worked out fine and to my advantage. So don't be afraid if your cards are warped and it's a little bit warped on your card, because it could be a neat effect, and in this case, loving it. Here is another one, and I just took a watercolor piece and watercolored in like this rainbow, curved rainbow, and die cutted the butterflies out of some black cardstock. This was a clean and simple and easy card to put together. Then I just took some VersaFine Onyx Black and pounced out this sentiment. Thank you. This sentiment is from Mama Elephant, and I think it's from the Pixies Favorites. Yeah, I think it's from that one. This one is a really easy one, and it takes no time to pull together. And I just took a sentiment out of an Avery L stamp set. Then I took some pattern papers. This is from American Craft. I think it's from the... I don't remember. I think it's an Amy 10 one. Then I die cutted this out of... This is a little bit of a heavier cardstock. It's a Nina 110 cardstock. I just die cutted that out of that, and then I bumped this up with some fun foam. And then I replaced the fly and put some dimension to the body of this butterfly, and then I just like creased the wings, and you have this neat effect. I don't know if you can see it, but it really creates this nice dimension. That's a really nice card, and I'm loving it. I think you can use this technique to create a lot of cards. Then I did some partially die cutting, and I'm thinking of actually showing you how you do partial die cutting. If you're curious, you can always look at like Jennifer McGuire. She has a lot of great movies about doing that, but I thought I could show you that one too in a video that's coming up. I haven't recorded it yet, but I have an idea for it. So all you do, this is a card base. And I folded that card base at a half. And then I lie my dies over this one and my cutting plate. And then I just die cutted the half of this butterfly. Then I went over this whole part with some dye tea distress inks, and I splattered it with some water, and that created this like neat colors. I used a stamp set from MFT. No, not MFT. That is from Avriel. That's the same one that I used on a previous card that I showed you. And then I die cutted the whole butterfly again out of some 110 in a cardstock. And then I actually did color them in. I have done a video, I think, where I'm coloring in butterflies with watercolors and then put a body to it. And this time I did a gold one. So that is that, and you can see, hopefully you can see the dimension that it creates when these like two butterflies wings are at the same. I think that is a pretty one. Guys, that was all for this type of video today, and I hope you liked it. This turned into a very long one, and I hope you stick with me to the end. If you like this, please give it a thumb up. If you want to see more of my work, you can always subscribe to my channel here at YouTube or visit me at Instagram. My name is scrapbooking_Svea. And if you want me to do a couple of more of these videos, please leave me a comment down below telling me if it is some special stamp set or die set that you know I'm having in my stash that you want me to show what I've done with. Or if you just liked it, please give me a comment or telling me. Hope you have a fabulous day. Until next time, have a great day. Bye!